What if your anxiety isn't just a feeling, but a habit your brain has been practicing every single day? Have you ever tried to stay calm, but ended up spiraling even harder? You meditate, journal, try to breathe, yet the storm inside only gets louder. Could it be that you're trying to silence the wrong thing? Let's explore this together.
It's a feeling many people have likely experienced. The attempt to control often makes us feel even more out of control.
And before we dive deeper into the details, if you, our dear listeners, don't want to miss out on valuable insights like these in future episodes, don't forget to hit follow on our Think and Rebound channel. All right, today we're going to share interesting stories of fictional individuals we've created to illustrate how to navigate life's challenges. Our first story is about Ingdao. Ingdao had a grand dream. She wanted to build an innovative tech startup that could change the world. She believed in her own potential and was determined to make that dream a reality.
Yes, she poured everything into it, her time, effort, and passion to perfect her project. She worked tirelessly, sacrificing her personal life for a while, all for the success she envisioned.
But then, one day, she encountered an unexpected obstacle. A major competitor in the market launched a very similar product with substantial funding and a stronger team. Ingdao felt like her world was collapsing. The dream she had meticulously built seemed to crumble in an instant. Have you ever felt this way, dear listeners, where suddenly all hope seems to vanish?
It's truly an indescribable feeling, isn't it? When something we've dedicated our lives to is about to be overshadowed by factors beyond our control. Despair can easily take hold of our minds.
Ingdao herself was deeply immersed in disappointment for quite a while. She was close to canceling the entire project and just giving up. But then, something she had learned from her self-development journey popped into her mind. Every crisis hides an opportunity. It might sound like a cliché, right? But in her darkest moment, she decided to try and look for it.
Instead of dwelling in fear and comparison with the competitor, she started asking herself, what can we learn from this situation? And what unique strengths do we have that the competitor doesn't?
She began analyzing the competitor's product in detail, not as a threat, but as a learning opportunity. She found that while the product was similar, it still lacked some key elements that her team could offer better, especially in terms of reaching and understanding the needs of specific target users.
This shift in perspective from despair to analysis gave her a clearer view of the market gap. She completely revised her marketing strategy, emphasizing the unique selling points of her product, and even reached out to early adopters of the competitor's product to gather data and understand what they truly wanted.
And the result? Ingdao's startup not only survived, but thrived by leaps and bounds. She successfully built her own niche customer base and became a prominent player in the market, all because she chose to see problems as opportunities for innovation.
Ingdao's story clearly demonstrates that the ability to quiet your mind, even for a brief moment, and intentionally shift your perspective can truly be a game changer when facing life's inevitable challenges. It's about building mental resilience, like a muscle that grows stronger with practice.
Yes, it's not about avoiding problems or ignoring difficulties, but rather about consciously choosing how to respond to various situations. When anxiety takes over, we often jump to worst-case scenarios, feeling powerless. But even a few minutes of intentional calm, of observing our thoughts instead of letting them consume us, can create a small but significant space for a different kind of thinking.
Let's look at another brief example. Pong. Pong was a young writer with a dream of getting his novel published, but he struggled terribly with self-doubt. Every time he finished a piece, he felt his work wasn't good enough, riddled with flaws, even though other writers praised it.
This self-doubt prevented him from submitting his work to publishers, from joining workshops, or even sharing his stories with anyone. Until one day, he learned about the technique of gratitude journaling. He started writing down his appreciation for himself every day, for his efforts, his creativity, and even the small acts of courage he showed each day.
It felt strange at first, but writing it down daily gradually allowed positive thoughts to sink into his mind. From constantly thinking negatively about himself, he began to see more value in himself and his writing.
The result was that Pong gathered the courage to submit his manuscript to a publisher, and his novel was eventually published, even receiving good feedback from readers. His journey as a writer, once hindered by crippling self-doubt, blossomed because he actively chose to cultivate a more positive inner narrative.
Listeners, what do these stories tell us? They tell us that our minds, though sometimes feeling like our worst enemy when anxiety takes over, are also the key to our greatest strength.
Yes, it's not about trying to force every thought to be silent, but about learning to build a better relationship with those thoughts. It's about creating a small space for calm, practicing new perspectives, and choosing to respond consciously.
We're not saying you need to meditate for hours a day or become an enlightened guru. We're simply suggesting that even 10 minutes of intentional practice can start to rewire your brain, creating new neural pathways that favor calm over chaos and clarity over confusion.
It's about mindfulness, being present, observing your thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them. And it's about reframing, consciously choosing a more empowering perspective when faced with a challenge. And finally, it's about self-compassion, recognizing that it's okay to struggle, but also acknowledging your capacity to grow and overcome.
So if you're feeling overwhelmed by anxiety right now, if your mind feels like it's constantly spinning, what's one small step you can take today?
Choose one thing. Perhaps it's dedicating 10 minutes to a guided meditation. There are countless free apps and videos available. Or perhaps it's setting a daily intention to pause for a moment when you feel anxiety rising, and simply notice your breath for 60 seconds. Or maybe it's consciously challenging one negative thought today and reframing it into a more constructive one.
Don't aim for perfection, aim for consistency. Even small, consistent efforts can lead to profound changes over time. Your mind isn't something to be tamed, but rather understood and gently guided.
Can you truly quiet your mind? Yes, you can. Not by silencing every thought, but by changing your relationship with them, by creating space, cultivating perspective, and actively choosing how you respond. And it all starts with that first conscious step.